after World War II, Korea is going to be divided at the 38th parallel. And North Korea would be allied with the Soviet Union, and they're going to create a communist regime there, the People's Democratic Republic of Korea. And they're going to be supported by the Soviet Union and create a communist state there under Kim Il sung. South Korea is going to create a republic known as the Republic of Korea, and they're going to be supported by the United States. And so this division is ultimately going to lead to the outbreak of the Korean War, when North Korea kind of catches South Korea off guard and launches a massive invasion in 1951, and very quickly take over almost the entire peninsula. And the United States is going to step in. Technically, the Korean War was a UN police action, but in actuality, it was a U.S. war. Most of the troops fighting were from the United States, and the leaders, the military leaders, were from the United States as well. And so the Korean War is going to be overseen by Douglas MacArthur. And after some initial kind of pushback and conflict, very rapidly, Douglas MacArthur drives the North Koreans back to that original border at the 38th parallel. Well, then he decides he wanted more, and that they were going to try to continue to push into North Korea, which they did, and drive the North Koreans all the way back to the border with China. However, at that point, China steps in and kind of pushes everybody back down to the original border. And there, over the next couple of years, a stalemate kind of develops, and neither side really gained any ground. And finally, they negotiate a ceasefire, and basically North Korea and South Korea remain the same as they had been before the war. They were still divided at the 38th parallel. North Korea remained communist, as they still are today, and South Korea remained a republic. So following the Korean War, South Korea, much like Japan, went through this period of rapid economic growth. And again, it was supported by the government. Government aid combined with entrepreneurship. They put a strong emphasis on cheap consumer goods, as well as the automobile industry and steel production. And one of the kind of characteristics of this economic growth in South Korea was the creation of these huge industrial groups. These huge companies weren't just large factories that produced various goods, but they actually had a lot of influence around them. For example, Hyundai, they build a vertical economic organization in the southeastern parts of Korea, and they came to really dominate most of the coastal regions of Southeast Korea. So not only did they build ships and factories and automobiles, but they also built low-cost housing. They built schools, and their employees could purchase these low-cost houses and go to these schools. They even built a technical college there as well. And so all of the needs of their employees were provided by Hyundai. And there were many other examples of this as well. But kind of on the downside, because most everything was provided for workers, they spent most of their time working. Most people worked 6-day work weeks and were only provided about 3 days of vacation per year.